Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Hi, I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. And as you know, I love to travel. I'll travel anywhere with anyone, including my now 21-month-old. I traveled with her starting at 3 months old. However, I will say that my travel style has somewhat changed. I had stayed in a vacation rental home in the past with a few of my single friends, but now it is the only way to go. So I am excited to have with me today Melanie Fish. She is VRBO's travel expert and speaks to journalists daily about the fastest growing segment in the travel industry, vacation home rentals. She has happily shared travel trends and tips at the New York Times Travel Show, in magazines including Rachel Ray Everyday and Glamour, and on a regular Travel Tuesday TV segment, and with the Today Show producers as they planned broadcasts from a castle in Scotland and a villa in Italy. She is also a mom of two and stays in vacation homes herself from Costa Rica to Colorado. Hi, Melanie.
Hi, Michelle. I'm so glad to hear that you have figured out the secret. It's much easier to travel with a 21-month-old if you are staying in vacation homes.
You're absolutely right, Melanie. It is the only way I will travel from now on. And it's that time when experts are making their travel trend predictions for the coming year. So tell me what you are finding when it comes to the 2019 Travel Trend Report highlighting demands among people renting vacation homes.
Well, you know, Homeaway is really the original powerhouse of the vacation home rental industry. And these aren't just predictions for the coming year. These are actually based in data that we have looked at. And for 3 years in a row, we've looked at the data over what people are booking, where they want to go, what kind of accommodations they're looking for. And that's what informs our trends for the coming year. And there's some really interesting ones. The biggest one being that people are booking bigger homes for 2019, not just houses with more bedrooms, but they're actually searching for and booking castles and estates. And they're traveling with bigger groups, which shows me that they want to share memories with friends and family when they're traveling. And they realize that the value in doing so is fantastic when you rent a whole home, because the price per person tends to drop as the size of the accommodations get bigger.
Right. And it's so true. And that has been key when my family has used vacation rentals in the past. My in-laws were able to join us during a trip to Sarasota last spring. And it was great to continue visiting after the baby went to bed. We weren't locked into a hotel room. We were also able to get more space for a smaller price. Does this play into the trend for bigger homes as well?
I mean, isn't that the key, being able to put the baby to bed and then stay up and listen to the waves, crash on the beach, have a glass of wine? So absolutely, there is just the convenience and privacy of vacation homes, but I think that value is really what is driving this trend. Bigger homes tend to lower the cost per person dramatically. I've seen magnificent estates in the wine country for around $60 per person per night when you fill them up. But it is very, very common to see properties for as little as $20, $30 per person per night as you get into these bigger homes that you're filling with friends and family. Disney is an indication that this is really popular for families. More and more families are choosing, when they go visit theme parks, to stay in vacation homes because they're getting the privacy. They'll get that private pool. They get room to spread out. They're not all on top of each other in a hotel room. So that's another trend we're seeing.
Yeah. And I do have to tell you that I live in a very small apartment in this New York City right now. And so when my daughter is napping, there's nothing we can do. So when we go away, that's certainly the last thing we want to be tied to as well in a hotel room. So I agree with you. And I have found the vacation rental homes to be magnificent. And also, like you said, you can get these beautiful castles and estates that are just 10 times better than any hotel you could ever stay in.
Well, the unique accommodations are really special. And not only can you put the baby to bed and then enjoy your time still, there's also cost savings in being able to make breakfast, grab a sandwich for lunch, and then save up for that really nice dinner out. It's just more convenient. And if saving money is important to you, that's part of it too. So I love the fact that there's a kitchen.
Exactly. I agree with you. And also a laundry, a washer and a dryer key so that I don't have to pack a million outfits because I have enough to pack already.
When you're talking about these unique experiences, you're right. You can stay in a really unusual place like a castle, or you can stay in just a really lovely beach house. And in some places, it's not unusual for them to come with a housekeeper. As a matter of fact, I took my family to Costa Rica last summer, and the house that we chose to stay in came with a house mom who cooked us breakfast in the morning and helped us with our laundry. And so every experience is special and unique when you're renting a home, and there's really something for everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm sure there are a lot of families looking for privacy and space after a full day standing in lines, surrounded by people, especially like you were saying at Disney. Did you see any other trending family-friendly destinations?
Yes. So speaking of the theme parks, Homeaway's most booked, most hearted, and most reviewed homes in 2018 were all in proximity to Disney World and Dollywood. So those theme parks are very popular. But another trend I'm seeing that I think is very family-friendly is that many of our trending destinations tend to be in rural places. Great for adventurous families who want to get close to nature, go hiking during the day, visit the waterfalls, but then they want to retire after all that to a home away from home, have a place where they can shower, cook a meal, put the kids to bed, enjoy some family time, maybe grab a hot tub, open a glass of wine, those types of things. So actually our number one trending destination for the coming year is Hocking Hills, Ohio. It's really known.
Who thought?
Right? Well, I think, people in Ohio, they know that this is a stunningly gorgeous place, but word is getting out. It is known for its beautiful hiking trails, the outdoor activities, the scenery is unbelievable. There are waterfalls and forests. There's something called Old Man's Cave, which is a huge gorge cut through 150-foot thick sandstone. And so people, I think, for generations have known about this area and enjoyed visiting it. Now they realize they can stay there, do all that fun outdoor stuff, and then at the end of the day, stay in a home that they've rented on Homeaway or VRBO and relax.
Yes, absolutely. And I love the idea of taking a vacation to unplug off the grid to relax and reconnect with family. But are there any options for those city-dwelling travelers, those who cannot get out of the city?
Yeah, well, there are places to stay in 190 countries. So certainly city dwellers and people who prefer to vacation in cities can find plenty of whole homes to rent in those areas. One of our trending destinations actually is right outside of Washington, D.C. in Loudoun County, which is about an hour's drive from the city. So I really like this option because you can do the big city things that are available in D.C., but then you can also go see more of the Civil War history in Loudoun County. There are also a lot of wineries in the area and a lot of great activities for young kids where they can learn about American history. So I was happy to see Loudoun County pop up in the trending destinations for 2019.
Yeah, I'm going to have to add that to my list because that's not so far from where I am now. And definitely when my little girl gets older. Do you see more and more families staying in vacation rentals?
Families are increasingly choosing vacation rentals. There has been a 325% jump in demand among travelers who are taking their children along. Makes sense. They're realizing how much space is available, the amenities that are available. Like you said, put the baby to bed, stay up for a while, and the value. I mean, it's just crazy how you can bring the grandparents along, some cousins along, and really I'm finding that the more the merrier. The more people you bring along, the better the value gets.
Yeah, and in addition to value, you just make such great memories, family memories, friend memories. It's such a great trip. Melanie, where can people go to get more information and to book their next trip?
So you want to go to homeaway.com or the Homeaway app, which is, I love to search for properties on the Homeaway app. You put in where you want to go. If you know the dates, you add in the dates where you want to, when you want to go, and then you start narrowing your search. You put in how many people are going. Are you taking your pets along? There are plenty of pet-friendly properties. And then the amenities that you can choose to check are plentiful. You can decide, do I want to make sure I have a pool? Do I want to be waterfront? Do I need an elevator? Do I want a king-size bed? Do I want a hot tub? All of these are options you can choose that will help narrow your search. And once you have a list of properties on the app, you can choose the ones that you want to save to your trip board by clicking on the heart next to it. And really look at the photographs, read the reviews, read the entire property description, and you'll very quickly find the perfect match for your group or family.
Perfect. Well, Melanie Fish, thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to talking to you some more because I have so much to say about my experiences staying in vacation rental homes. Next up, we are going to talk with Erin Lemon-Strauss, the Executive Director of College and Career Access for the College Board, about what your child can do with their PSAT and MSQT scores.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy. And, we talk a lot about topics relating to new moms and if you have newborns or toddlers. But what if you are a mom and you have a child getting ready for the PSATs? The SATs, they could all be very stressful times in your child's lives, and there's a lot of pressure put on them for the testing. So with me today, I have Erin Lemon-Strauss. He is the Executive Director of College and Career Access. He leads the College Board's digital efforts to clear a path for students to college and career success. Erin, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me on.
Tell me a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so the College Board is a national nonprofit. We're known for SAT and advanced placement courses. But as a nonprofit, our real mission is advancing students to a right fit college and a successful career. And so my work, which I love, is all about doing that. It's all about building tools and resources in order to help students find a college that's great for them and to get there. Or if it's going directly into career, making sure that there's a career pathway that's going to get them a great job and a path to the middle class.
So tell me, what is the PSAT NMSQT?
So the PSAT NMSQT, beyond being a whole lot of letters, really what it is it's a test that about 4 million students took this October. They're getting their scores back now. And it helps them see where they're at compared to the SAT. So it tests a lot of the same material as the SAT. The score scale is on the same level as the SAT. But I wouldn't focus so much on those scores. I would focus more on all of the opportunities that come out of taking the PSAT, including over $200 million in scholarships that are connected to taking the PSAT.
Got it. And that is huge, especially huge for parents. So definitely a good reason to encourage your child to study for the PSATs and also for you to maybe sit with them or get them somebody who specializes, like a tutor who can help them with this so they could excel in this test.
Yeah, what we found is that there's a real gap in terms of access to resources. And when we changed the SAT and the PSAT in order to make it more reflective of what students are actually learning in high school, that opened up the ability to have prep and practice be available for everyone for free. So what you can now do is go to satpractice.org, so it's satpractice.org, and get completely free comprehensive practice for the SAT built by our friends at Khan Academy. And folks who have teenagers probably have a lot of familiarity with Khan Academy. It's what a lot of schools are using as free resources to help prepare their students. And we wanted to make sure that was available because we didn't want it to be that you only had access to SAT prep if you were able to, pay for a commercial test prep. And so we like to say that the best SAT prep is now available at satpractice.org, and it just happens to be free.
That's amazing. That really is amazing to have that free resource. And also that people can just go there at any point to study when it doesn't have to be when a tutor is available.
Yeah, that's a really important point because what we find is that, students and families are busy. They've got sports, they've got after-school jobs, they've got theater, they've got band, they've got everything that's going on in their lives. And so being able to carve out 15 minutes here or 30 minutes there, you need something that's available whenever you are. And so we thought it was really important that we create, thousands of practice items and hundreds of videos so that you can use it whenever you're able to and whenever you've got time in your schedule.
Great. So can people go anywhere else to get more information on all of these great resources?
Yeah, so you can head to satpractice.org for the free official SAT Practice and Khan Academy. But you can also head to psat.org where you can get information about the test and about the scores and about scholarships. One other thing that you'll find there is information about AP Potential, which are resources to show students who, based on how they did on the PSAT, which advanced placement courses they could be a good fit for. Those advanced placement courses, as you know, are high school courses, but they're at the college level, and they give college credit. So students who succeed in advanced placement courses are then able to earn college credit while they're still in high school. And so those are classes they don't need to take in college, and that's tuition credits they don't need to pay for when they're in college.
Perfect. Erin Lemon-Strauss, thank you so much. That was very informative and really good to know that we have those resources. And whether you're a new mom or a mom with a teenage child who is about to take these tests, very, very helpful. Thank you all so much for joining me today on the show. Don't forget, you could check out the website, passportmommy.com, to listen to this show and any others that you may have missed. And please follow us on social, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Passport Mommy. So whether your child is starting to study for the PSATs or maybe they're a newborn, you'll want to listen to the next segment because I have coming up Trisha Weinhold. She is the Director of Marketing for Halo Innovations, and it's really a terrific company. They make everything from bassinets that are easy to use as a new mom to swaddles and sleep blankets and this new Pack and Play, which has great ventilation. They make products to help prevent SIDS, which unfortunately is something that some new parents have to deal with, which is absolutely devastating. So don't go anywhere. Trish Weinhold is coming up in just a few. And don't forget to head to the website, passportmommy.com, where I have tons of tips on destinations to visit with your family or the best baby products.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
Welcome back to the show. I'm Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy, and I love having on the program people who talk to me about great products. And as you know, I have a 20-month-old, and one of the first products we used when she was born was the Halo Innovations bassinet and the swaddles. And I am a huge, huge fan. So I'm thrilled to have with me the Director of Marketing for Halo Innovations, Trisha Weinhold. Trisha, thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. So tell me a little bit about the background of Halo and why the founder started the company.
Absolutely. So our founder, his name is Bill Schmid, actually started Halo out of his home after a personal tragedy in his own family. In the early 90s, he sadly lost his firstborn daughter to SIDS. And after that tragic event, he really dedicated his time and energy to find products that could help solve the problem for parents when it comes to safe sleep and help prevent similar tragedies. He was in a unique situation in that his background was as an airflow engineer. So knowing that breathability and airflow was had some connection with SIDS reduction, he was in a great spot to investigate this problem. So ever since then, we've really been dedicated to making safe sleep easier for parents and more comfortable for babies.
Yeah, and I actually spoke with him a while ago when I was first having my child on another show, and his story is incredible, and it really is heartbreaking, and it just goes to show you how important it is for parents to be aware of SIDS and the dangers and just the precautions that should be taken. So I think it's amazing the products that Halo has come up with to try to combat this and to really help parents make it easier. So tell me a little bit about some sleep safety tips that we should be aware of as new parents or maybe second-time parents. And, you know, we forget things as we go, as our kids get older, because we can only keep so much in our brains at a time.
Yep. Well, first and foremost, babies should be in their own separate sleep space that's flat. It's important that it's flat so they can have an open airway. Also remove all those fluffy blankets, pillows, bumpers. Baby doesn't really need any of those, and actually they can be a suffocation risk. Baby, most importantly, should be on their back to sleep as well. This is a point that I think stresses parents out a lot. As baby begins to naturally develop, they will naturally start to roll. And so what the AAP recommends, and parents can, I think, take solace in, is that if they just continue to put their baby to sleep for any sleep session, nap time, or bedtime, should they roll over, provided they're in that safe sleep environment, it's really okay. It's just part of their natural development.
Right. I know I flipped out about that too. I thought, oh my gosh. And my brother said, no, it's a milestone. It's a good thing. And I said, yeah, but I'm so worried.
It really is a good thing.
Yeah, it is a good thing. And that's where one of your new products that starting in January can be shipped really, I think, could put parents' minds at ease.
Yeah, so we have a brand new product. It's called our Dream Nest Open Air Sleep System. And what it looks like is a similar play yard, but what we've done is we've tried to design it to provide breathable comfort for babies sleeping in it. When we spoke to parents, and that's where we always start with our product development, they told us that, you know, they use pack and plays for sleep when they're away from home or at nap time in their own homes, but they don't feel like it's very comfortable for a baby. The mattress isn't breathable. It doesn't feel like it's designed for optimal sleep. So we looked at ways that we could improve that. So both safety and comfort were taken into account. So what's unique about it is that it has a fully mesh mattress. So it provides full airflow on baby's sleep surface and is very comfortable. This means that you're reducing the likelihood of your baby overheating, which can be a risk factor for SIDS, but it also provides additional ventilation. So should they be going through that developmental stage that we were just talking about rolling over, they still have that full ventilation through the mesh mattress that will keep them safe.
Yeah. And I know for us, we were late in the game in getting a crib, and we just put our daughter in a pack and play for quite a while in between her bassinet and until her crib came. And those are the times that they start rolling over. So this could be a great transitional piece too for parents to use if they don't want to put their child right into the crib because they want that breathability. So tell me also about the sleep sacks and the swaddles, because they are also amazing. Because I know as a new parent, and this is so silly, I was so worried about learning how to swaddle. I don't know why. I was just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be so difficult. It's really not. But Halo makes it even simpler and easy and makes it so comfortable for baby and parent.
Yeah, absolutely. It can be a challenge for many, especially as you're starting out, and babies are often little Houdinis that can break out of a loose blanket. And so what you want to avoid for safe sleep is the possibility of loose blankets in the crib. So that's why we really feel like our wearable blanket swaddle is a safe option. But it also is incredibly easy in the middle of the night. It really requires no fuss, and allows you to get that really quick swaddle with its inverted zipper that lets you easily dress and undress your baby and access them for diaper changes, and no worry that it's going to come apart in the middle of the night.
Right, exactly. It was so easy. It was basically 3 steps, zip, and then fold over, and baby was nice and secure. So I think that should be on everybody's registry list right off the bat, no questions, as a very basic item. And it also really helps prevent hip dysplasia the way that they are made.
Yeah, that's an important factor to consider when looking at any type of swaddle. For proper hip development, babies' legs should not be restricted. They should actually be able to kick their legs freely and be in more of like a frog-like position, so they're flexed. And so our swaddle has a very generous sack design. It's part of their body that really doesn't need to be restricted to give them that secure feeling. So just make sure you look for something like the Halo Sleep Sack Swaddle or a sack that is very generously sized.
Okay, great. And you have a new swaddle that's available coming out. Tell me about that.
Yeah, we have 2 wearable blankets. One is closer to a swaddle. It's called our Halo Sleep Sack Self-Soothing Swaddle. It is for babies who don't necessarily like their arms restricted, but perhaps like that natural arms up position, because often babies really like to reach their hands to their face to self-soothe. And so this garment lets them do it. It also has some tight compression around their torso, so that still provides them the kind of womb-like feeling. The really cool thing that I think this product has is it has silicone teethers that are on the hand position. So when baby reaches into self-soothe, it not only provides some kind of sensation for gum relief, but it also keeps the garment dry as they're sucking on it.
Wow, that is really pretty cool.
Yeah, as I call it, one of our kind of new sleep solutions. The other one that we're introducing is really designed to help parents through the transition from swaddling into a wearable blanket. As we know, kind of everybody has different experiences with that because babies are all different. It's called our Halo Sleep Sack Easy Transition Wearable Blanket, and it's designed with some kimono style 3/4 length sleeves, and it's made out of a thicker cotton stretch fabric. So it actually helps baby kind of get that secure feeling around their torso and help slightly reduce the startle reflex if they're still experiencing that as they go through the transition, just to make it a little bit easier. And the really, I think, thing that gives me peace of mind as I think about my next one coming in January is that it's because their arms are free to move around and it's safe to roll. You really don't need to worry about them going through that natural stage of rolling over in this garment.
Right. And congratulations, by the way, expecting in a month. Amazing. And you have a 22-month-old now.
Yes, I do. Yeah. So we're in a very similar life stage.
Yes. So I completely understand. I have one due in May, so a little bit right behind you there. So are you using, I'm sure you are using the Halo Bassinet, because I found that extremely helpful as a co-sleeper and really easy to access the baby from the bed.
Yeah, it was a true lifesaver. I mean, the ability to have my baby so close to me right next to the bed gave me peace of mind, and just the swivel action to make it easy to get in on a bed, as well as the lowering bedside wall that makes it easy to grab your baby in the middle of the night without getting out of bed for feedings. It really felt like a game changer for those first few months when you're sleep deprived and just trying to get through the day and night.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the price point on that is really good because you have these really expensive bassinets, which I think are maybe a little too much and a little unnecessary, especially because you're only going to use it for maybe 4 months, 3 or 4 months. But I feel like the Halo bassinet is priced just right because it gives you that extra, those perks that we just talked about, well worth it and not that expensive. So tell me, what else are you doing to prep for your little one? Do you feel that you remember everything from the first baby, or is it like you're starting over?
That's a really funny question. My husband and I were recently talking about it because we feel like we forgot a lot that we learned, but somehow we managed to learn everything through the first time. So we told ourselves we'd be okay through the second. Preparation is a lot different. I feel like with your second time around. It's certainly, we've been focused on our 22-month-old daughter, which is a handful at her age. That really hasn't given us much time to think about baby. But we do have a nursery set up and kind of we're getting the basics ready. So I think we'll be as set as we were before when she arrives.
Right. Well, that's good because I know what you mean. My brother used to tell me that. He used to say, no, you can only think about what your child is going through at that time. And I said, what do you mean? How do you not remember this? It was only 2 years ago. And now I completely understand. You remember what you need to for what you're going through at that specific moment because they change so quickly. And there's just so much that we can retain at one time.
Yep, exactly.
Tell me, where can people go for more information on Halo products?
Absolutely. Definitely visit our website at halosleep.com, or you can find more product information at Bye Bye Baby, Amazon, or Target.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Tricia. I really appreciate it. I look forward to stocking up on the Halo products for my little one. They're really a lifesaver in so many ways. And again, to be just aware of SIDS and everything that goes along with it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you very much, and good luck and congratulations.
Thank you. You as well. And don't forget, you can follow us on social. It's Passport Mommy on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. You can also head to the website, passportmommy.com, to listen to this show and any other show that you may have missed in the past. We are on all of your podcasting platforms, so you can go and download us on iTunes, on the podcast app, on your phone, wherever you get podcasts. as you know, I love to travel. You heard me talking earlier about traveling with Melanie Fish from Homeaway and VRBO. And when you're with your family this holiday season and making plans, it makes sense to talk travel plans for 2019. After becoming a mom, I realized that there was a much better way to travel with the family by renting a vacation home. So now I only use VRBO.com when I go away. I have found gorgeous homes in places like Sarasota and all over Italy. I stayed exclusively in VRB homes in Rome, Tuscany, Florence, and Venice, and I really had amazing experiences at each and every one of them. It made me see parts of the cities that I wouldn't have otherwise seen, and really the owners helped me learn so much about the cultures in each of the regions. The homes are spacious, they're clean. Like I said, the hosts are very helpful. So to book your next vacation home, just head to VRBO.com or download the VRBO app to discover everything from beach houses to cabins and condos. They do the hard work for you, matching you to the perfect place to stay every time. Coming up next, we are going to talk with Rena DeSisto. She's from Bank of America, and she's going to talk about how to make arts and culture accessible for everyone of all ages. If you're looking for fun destinations and places to go with your family, you always hear me talking about PassportMommy.com. Well, that's my website. I started it when I became a mom. I actually had started it even before that as PassportRomance.com when I was single, and talks about romantic places to go. So if you are looking for that getaway with your significant other, because you all know we need to reconnect with our partner even after we have kids, you can go there for ideas. But mostly it focuses on family-friendly destinations right now. So you can check it out if you're looking for a new vacation idea or maybe a tip or a new product, whether it's a baby product or a travel product, just to make your life easier. It's a great site. Go check it out, PassportMommy.com. And also on the site, there is a place where you can sign up with your name and your email, and you will be entered to win many of the contests that we run every few weeks through the show. You will get an email about the contest, giving you the opportunity to be part of the giveaway. And we do give away everything from helpful mom products. So there's that and so much more. Just head to PassportMommy.com.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson. Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson is a show about the journey of motherhood. Joining you on your greatest adventure, here's Michelle Jerson, the Passport Mommy.
I'm excited to have with me on the line Rena DeSisto. She is the Global Executive for Arts and Culture and Women's Programs at Bank of America. And I wanted to talk to Rena today because as a mom of a 20-month-old, I believe it is so important to incorporate arts and culture into their everyday lives, even at this young age. Rena, thank you so much for being here today.
My pleasure.
Tell me a little bit about how Bank of America really gets behind the arts and cultures.
Well, we have a comprehensive program of arts and culture that has been in place for, in some ways, 20 years. It's grown over that period of time. It's a strategic program that we have stuck with year after year, and actually the program has really just grown by leaps and bounds. There are several elements of it, one of which is sponsorships. We sponsor exhibitions. That in and of itself doesn't make us very different from other companies, other than to say we do 15 or so a year, not one every 2 years. And right now, for instance, we are sponsoring the Warhol show at the Whitney. It's then moving on to San Francisco and then Chicago. We will sponsor it in all locations. We're sponsoring a Gordon Parks show in Washington, D.C., and we're sponsoring a show right now on Winslow Homer in the Brandywine Valley, and a show on Renoir and his son, Jean Renoir, the filmmaker, in Paris. So that's just to give you a sense of how many different sponsorships we've got going on at any one time and over the period of a year. Since I've been doing this, we have sponsored over 150 shows around the world.
That's absolutely incredible. Now, let me ask you, because it is challenging sometimes for cultural institutions and what they're facing today. What would you say are some of the challenges? And this is where Bank of America comes in with your sponsorship.
Money is always a challenge for cultural institutions for various reasons. Sometimes they're trying to grow. Sometimes, over time, when growing, it means not just physical space, but hiring more people. The cost of conservation has increased. The need for conservation has increased, and I'll get into that in just a minute. And then, they're developing outreach and education programs, and in a lot of ways filling the void that's been left by school systems that are making arts education less and less a part of the curriculum. So all of that. The other thing that's really driving up cost is when they do sponsorship exhibitions and they're borrowing works from museums around the world. The insurance costs associated with those pieces of art that are coming in from different entities, both individuals and from other museums, has also skyrocketed. So all of this is made being a museum much more expensive endeavor, and so our show helps them. We enable them to do what it is that they do, and I think, if the money were to go away from these kinds of sponsorships, it would be difficult for the Whitney to put on a major retrospective of Warhol, and so we feel good about being an enabler and helping those kinds of things to happen. We lend our art collection also to help museums thrive, and that collection is something that we have inherited from the various banks that are now part of Bank of America. We use that in our workplace to inspire employees. After all, we have 200,000 employees in about 800 facilities around the world. But we also have turned it into a community resource where museums can actually borrow fully curated exhibitions from the company. And since we started doing this in 2010, we've lent about 130 shows.
That's terrific. So we have about a minute left. So let me ask you, for the everyday person who's looking to experience museums and go there with their children and their families, how can it be made affordable?
I'm glad you asked. We have a program called Museums on Us. If you are a card holder of Bank of America, credit card or debit card holder, or a card holder from U.S. Trust or Merrill Lynch, which are both Bank of America companies, you can get into 230 museums free of charge the first weekend of every month. bankofamerica.com/arts. That's tell you what museums you can get into.
Perfect. Thank you so much. And if you listen to this show, you know I love to travel. But you know what they say when you have young kids? It's no longer a vacation, but more like a trip. A trip that can be exhausting. However, I have found one way to make it a whole lot easier. You rent a vacation home at vrbo.com. Instead of paying for 2 or more rooms in a hotel, you get a whole house. You also get a full kitchen and a washer and dryer, so you don't have to eat out every meal. This is especially helpful if you have a little one that needs to nap or go to bed early. I can also pack less because I can wash my clothes along the way. Most of these homes have washers and dryers, and we know how much of a lifesaver that is with the amount of packing we need to do as moms. So to book your next vacation home, just head to vrbo.com or download the VRBO app to discover everything from beach houses to cabins and condos. They do the hard work for you, matching you to the perfect place to stay every time. And don't forget, you can head to my website, passportmommy.com. It gives you all kinds of ideas about destinations on where to go with your family. And then once you pick your destination, like I said, just head to vrbo.com and find that perfect place to stay. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great rest of the day, and I'll talk to you soon.
Passport Mommy with Michelle Jerson